Hey guys, welcome back to another Preachers Creatures video. In this video, I want to, we're going to do a couple things. One, I want to put the Mad Micas Tickled Pink on display for you. We've got this one and three other of the colors that are in the neon lineup that we haven't shown you, and so we're going to do that today. One of the things that we have run into when using these fine powders like this is sometimes they clump up. And so it was suggested by Adam at SDG to put this in cold, but we also have another viewer that mentioned putting them in with, getting a bottle and putting it in there with some worm oil and using it that way. And so that's what we're going to, the second thing we're going to do today. So what I did, I went on to Amazon and I ordered these 8-ounce bottles, and they've got this twist cap, this twist top. And if you use Dead on Plastics, you'll recognize that it's a very similar type of lid that we have here. And again, these are 8-ounce bottles, and I believe these are probably either 4 or 6 ounces, but nonetheless, we are going to take this powder and we're going to put it in this bottle. And I don't have ball bearings, but what I do have is an abundance of these lock nuts. And so anytime I use a colorant that tends to clump, I put one of these in it and use it to shake up. So that's what we're going to do today. So there's no reason to cut the script. We're just going to jump right into it and get the video going. So, all right, here we go. This thing, like I said, I did get them off Amazon, and they did come with a little funnel to use. And so we're going to attempt to get that in there. We may have to rush the video, speed the video up so it don't take forever in a day. But just so you know what we're doing, I'm going to spoon it in. It looks like it can handle about a 1/4 teaspoon at a time. That might take a little bit of time, so like I said, we might speed up the video. All right, guys, here we go. Okay, so we pretty much basically emptied out that Tickled Pink, and so we'll set that over here. We didn't make too much of a mess, so that's good. All right, so let's add, tell you what, let's add 2 of those. And now we want to add our worm oil, and see if we can do this without making a huge mess. That is a small tube, or a small funnel. I may end up just doing it pouring it in there by hand in the I think I can do that without making a mess. But I'm going to sit down so I can kind of put these over here out of the way. Well, making a mess anyway, ain't I? All right, well, that ain't too bad. Let's see here. I better put this lid on first. Hopefully this will work. And the gentleman that was telling me about this, he said I'd be able to control my drop count and all that, basically just like a regular colorant. And so we wanted to give it a try and see how it works, and you'll be able to see in real time. Just shaking it up, and hopefully we won't get no leaks with these Amazon bottles. They really wasn't that expensive, to be honest with you. If I can think, I'll put a link to it. Still got a little bit down here in the bottom that needs to be shook up. I'm going to cut the recording here so I can just not bore you with all the shaking. Alright guys, so there we go. We got it mixed up. And again, this is the Mad Micas Tickled Pink. I went ahead and wrote on there with a Sharpie, but I don't know if it'll stay because of the I got the worm oil on the outside of the bottle. But anyhow, we'll relabel it if we need to, or we'll find a way. So we just want to keep shaking it up. And again, these are 8-ounce bottles, and got them from Amazon, and they got different kinds of lids. I chose to get these this kind instead of the snap-on, so that I was less likely to have a catastrophic event. All right, so we got our plastic. Looks like it's probably ready. Yeah, we got it up there. And so we don't have a clue on the drop count because we just made this. But what I think we'll do is we'll just do like, let's start off with like 5 drops. We do have a half a cup. And we'll start off with 5 drops and see what that looks like. And I really don't know how big a drops this is going to make. So, or how fast it's going to come out. Okay. About like any other one. So it looks like it's going to be very light. So right there is 5 drops, which would be the equivalent of 10. Let me get another paper towel ready. So that I can wipe the nozzle off. And we'll do, that was probably about the equivalent of 5 more drops. It run out pretty quick. it kind of has a bubble gum look to it. Now we do have another one over here that is titled bubble gum, and it has a little bit different look to it. It seems like, and I might be wrong, it may not be the chewy color that I was looking at, that I was thinking of from Dead on Plastics. But you can see it's very translucent just after 10 drops. And I'll tell you, it does not have the, I can tell that there's not powder in it, or that's not clumping. And so that's a good thing, but I do want to keep it shook up. Let's do, I'll tell you what, let's drizzle some of this in one of our test molds. And then I'm going to double the recipe, and then we'll do another test mold. So that was probably the equivalent of 20 drops. And like I said, it kind of ran out a little bit. So we'll try to do drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So there's 10 drops. Or 10 more drops, so that would be the equivalent of 20 for a half cup, or 40 for a full cup. And you can see we're starting to get, it's transparent, but it's starting to opaque up a little bit. But that is a sweet looking color. How about that? All right, let's pour some of this test mold here, and then we'll take a look at them after they cool down. And then we'll shoot some baits with it. All right. And you know what? I turned this camera on, but I didn't hit record like a goofus. Anyway, and I've been showing it the fun. All right, we'll be back here in just a second. Okay, guys, I think these are probably cooled off enough. And again, this one is the equivalent of, it was 10 drops to a half cup, so 20 drops to a full cup. This one right here. And this one was 20 drops, and so it'd be the equivalent of 40 drops to a cup. And we'll show this camera over here. 20 drops to a cup, 40 drops to a cup. And I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me correct, that is the color of the Dead on Plastics. It's very near the color of the Dead on Plastics Neon Pink. So let's take these out. First, this one. You can see there that still fairly translucent. That's what that one looks like. And now, boy, it's really got the hot pink look to it. You can see the little bit of a difference there. This one's definitely a lot brighter and a little bit more opaque. Excuse me, but yeah, I like them. All right, guys, we're going to shoot this 2-inch pintail. And see what it looks like in it. Here we go. Now it's smooth. Tell you what I think would be neat. Is instead of doing a flake, I want to put some maybe some blue highlight powder in this and see if we can't get a little bit of a color shift action going. So we'll do that here in just a minute, but first I want to do a reveal on this, and then we'll come back and play around with this. Again, this is the Mad Micas Tickled Pink. Okay. Alright. So, one thing I've noticed when I go to open these molds, most molds, if I will hold on to the sprue and loosen it and lift, it'll help it lay the way I want it to. So it may not work all the time, but it works most of the time. Looky there. Those. I was going to shoot some trout baits. I'll tell you why I changed my mind, because I had forgot to turn my air compressor on, and the plastic was hot, and I needed to go ahead and shoot these baits. But we're not worried about which mold we shot, because we're really just looking at the color, and that is a beautiful neon pink, and it is looking sharp too on the see if we can get that focused in. I like that little pinpoint. You want to talk about some tail action. So again, that's angle and AI 2-inch pinpoint. But that is the equivalent of 40 drops to a cup of plastic. Of course, we did 20 drops to a half cup. And I like that. All right, so here's what I want to do now. We're going to set these to the side. And I want to experiment with this particular color, because it does remind me of one of the other colors. But what I think I want to try to do is I want to see if we can't. I just want to see what it looks like with this blue highlight, and see if we don't get kind of a, I don't know, color shift, or just some blue highlight to it. See what that does. So we're going to heat this back up, and we'll be back and add that, see what effect it has on it. All right. All right, so here we are, and we're going to add some of this. This is Do It. I have other blue highlights, but for my experimenting, I kind of like to use this. Kind of want to use it up, to be honest with you. This is, I put two 1/32 in there, so we put a 1/16 of that blue highlight in there, and we are going to mix that in and see what that will do. And this this Do It highlight powder, I mean, it works good for me. It doesn't seem to be quite as powerful as some of the other ones, so you know, I end up having to add a little bit more. But you can see we're getting a neat highlight effect in there. That's a cool color. All right, that's what I was hoping it would do. but I wasn't sure. So now, what can we do? Let's add some flake. Let's add some flake. Let's do a little bit of this disco. This is one of my favorite types of flake, and it's from Dead On Plastics. And so let's put an 1/8 of a teaspoon in there. It is color sensitive, but I think we're going to be all right. Let's see, we got a lot of it clumped up on the stirring stick there. I think we're going to have to pop it in the microwave for just a little bit. So let's do that. And we'll come back and shoot. But I think it's going to be a nice color. It's almost like the disco dome that I shoot. All right, didn't want to didn't want to cook it too long, because that flake is heat sensitive. But we did get it back up to temperature. I think that's a pretty neat color. All right, let's shoot that same mold, that pinpoint. Mold. That way we can compare what we done with the first run. But so far I am impressed and thankful for the good wisdom of our bait making community, because it was a lot easier to shoot to mix this color. Mixing it up in that bottle like that. And I'm probably going to go ahead and make the commitment to mix up the rest of my Mad Micas and do them the same way. I'm not going to do it all at once, but because I don't have enough worm oil to do it, but I will do it as I'm going to be working with each individual Mad Mica colorant. I'll just do it as I go, and then after a while they'll all be mixed up. But yeah, that was the way to go. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to label this, because you can see where I had accidentally spilled some worm oil on there. It's coming off. Anyway, I may take some rubbing alcohol or something, clean this bottle up real good, and then be able to write it on there. But yeah, that was a great idea. We're gonna let these cool. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I think these have had enough time to cool. Again, this is the 2-inch pinpoint. Turn that off, get out of the way. Okay. Now, I will give you a word of caution, and sorry my hands are so dirty. I've been working today, but then it's neither here nor there. Word of caution, make sure that you let it cool off long enough so that when you put your thumb right there, you're not gonna get hot plastisol on you. So there we go. That's a beautiful color. Yeah, buddy. Man, those come out so easy. So nice. So look at that. Another beautiful Mad Micas color, but with the addition of that blue highlight powder. So, and silver flake. So here we go. Let's look here. So on top is the original, and then on bottom we hit it with that blue highlight powder and the disco flake. That's a beautiful color. Another Beautiful color from Mad Micas. I'm impressed with their products. So, and I did buy this with my own money. So, anyhow, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we appreciate you tuning in to the channel, and appreciate you hitting that like and subscribe button if you hadn't already. And we're closing in on 600 subscribers, so it won't be long. I think we're up to 500 and I want to say 580 something, and so. Yeah, we're blown away by the support, and thank you for everybody that comments. And you know, it was a comment that that gave me the information on putting those powders in the worm oil, and what size to use, the amount, and all that. And so it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to do that from now on. So hopefully this will help somebody. I'll try to remember to put that Amazon link in the description, so that if you want to get the same kind of bottles that I did, you can do that. And the worm oil that I used is Dead on Plastics worm oil. And so anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget, you'll love the features of Preacher's Creatures.